Beads are integral parts of South Sudan's culture and heritage. Communities wear them for different purposes and in distinctive designs, sometimes as corsets or ordinary designs. Beads tell the age differences between women, men, boys, and girls and indicate that one is ready for marriage or is a newlywed. They are also used for decorating objects such as milk gourds and calabash. Generally, beads denote happiness and a sense of beauty and are used during marriages to show family wealth and pride, dance ceremonies, and other vital occasions that communities deem paramount. When unfortunate events such as the loss of a loved one happens, family members take off all their beads to show mourning and sadness. Beaded accessories are purposefully color-coded to indicate one's age group or status, cultural beliefs, and expressions.
Ai filotuko kullu talata de gina shunu bina de egama. Gi differentiate egama waja. De kaman egama, lakin de zoltani kaman bada design toto barao. Ala jiboder tala unique kaman minastanin ya kaman bina de egama kaman kulu. Lakin wo design to barao. U design de design kaman jedital banat girudu. They are original egama talutuko. They are the first egama al badao malutuko. Lahada sede fili sanas gilisu egama de. Yalla ina menda na lutuko menda na gali alwan kida ta banat alwan kida ta nasawin alwan kida ta yal sukerin. Ina bilipsu any color fi lugara. Any color bas al ajibu zol hasab haja al zol dero. Ana kan gelba ta girudu yellow wele yellow de alon alana birudu ana bisala ta min yellow. Ukan zoltani girudu burtugali o bisala min burtugali. Yani de hasab niyata zol hasab raya taki ita bilipsu colors de. Haja albes bi differentiate na fi lugara asan barfu gali de mara ude binia de kanas gala fi lugara mara de bilipsu shunu bilipsu gilit an lagina de shunu lagina de forwa de bi differentiate gali barfu gali mara de mara de jozu yala banat alisa ma jozu mon bilipsu shunu mon bilipsu tondura de bediri mon bilipsu tondura lakin banat ama de mendu tondura mon bilipsu shunu mon bilipsu skirti yala kan kaman mondero sala design to mon kereta la giafa mon bilipso haja algina di shunu emruk de mi kaito min shunu min stuba design to kida mon gamul bilipso bedahar kida asan bikun bas haja unique kida de haja bi differentiate na sawin ma shunu ma banat yalla haja tani kaman al bi differentiate nas fi jalo fi lugare na kade shunu de clans de haja algina di clans de inenda na clans ketir yalla iya clan endu design to وحاجة تو ألوبي دانس مو في لغارة أسان بعرفوا ده من كلان كده وده من كلان كده وده من كلان كده.
وقعد أنا فرقتان عشان كوي ككل شدين وأنا أقول يوكو قول نقران كنا نقول شال مقدين. كيجن الياب ككشول أو كزاري. تنا يمت كين أكور. ناكين كيو كان كين توين تبغى يدير بمول. Anong gune rit achan ba yet ba bia tawi yet chicken turkana chan ba yet piat yin nyani jang ayama madu rit tawi yet tana nong tim do e weje yoku cholang panda bang bor ko bang yeru tima ye loy anong me den to pinya yoku rit e rit ko na chen gwet taw man tu yet achan ba mat bi yet ba Dana chilo to ko jolo war mo gadi te yen nya ala mo gadi to ko tan ko bi nya be te to bi nya tan ko non ko jol go ka be ko ana to ko tan o ga jola lwal ye chien ko ana chu ko lwal be tan ku to ko lwal o ga be agul gwel gon ma lwal ka kichol ka taw ko na to ko tan ko ga be ya e kenero kwalo kwayor e kenero kunyer ananga gol te kinya didi tan ka jola gol ro te kien to ga lwa nyan ki di na ki go tiag bi ni tan ki go tiag gor tan ki ni ki tiag cho go to ko ten du ye tan ki tiag yi ko kuna cha dit ki na la chang agul ku jola gun chol en akar jiang abana gut chomoy nyan chi ti nyan ke dai tiak be jagak bai chiran chi tiak o jol gun chol ta wata nyan ke dai tiak war yen de bana chi tiak yene ke do o gun chole piak ke de teo chan be ala lor ke.
Presently, beaded accessories are worn as a fashion statement, especially by the youth. Despite not always conveying the intended historical values, they serve as a representation of diversity and beauty. As South Sudan transitions into modern days along with the world, a lot of the positive, unifying, and fundamental parts of our culture, such as bead making, are slowly dying as they largely remain done by older women with little interest from the younger generation who could carry this forward. The traditional knowledge of what bead colors, shapes, or designs of different South Sudanese traditional attires or beads symbolize is rapidly disappearing. Partly, this is due to the passing of elders, urbanization, migration, insecurity, and lack of respect for traditional knowledge as a knowledge system in the current education system, amongst other factors. Beads such as the Dinka and Lotuku corset seem to be getting more inaccessible and unaffordable to many.
Ujang legi set choga Bobby Gwedroy ana chelo wali jon ben rien twin ko chala ting dia dir ke a chibi chen gwed ko chibi nang gwedwan a nyir pan yik salfa nyir pan e chol mu twin ma yadi den chibi nang gwedwan ko ke ko ji lek ko jang bor ban a chin gwed ko gwedata ngo ke ka ken rai.
I think we were the first, at least of our generation that I know of, to do our wedding in the Dinka corset. And it wasn't an easy process because no one had done it before. There was a lot of skepticism from my family when I was trying to describe what I wanted, and skepticism and resistance because, they wanted us to do a white wedding, and I didn't want to do a white wedding. I was like, I want to do something inspired by our cultural outfit. And so, the back and forth just made the process really hectic. In addition to that, it took a lot of time to make the corset, and they were also costly to make. So it was just, it was just a problem after the other, with just trying to envision. And I was like, I really want a wedding in something that is a culture that I can say it's my culture, something that I identify with. Had seen people wear the corset, but on a runway, in a more of fashion statements rather than in a cultural event kind of thing,
In an effort to contribute to filling this gap,
we draw a lot of inspiration from initiatives like the Roots Project that has been doing this work since before South Sudan independence, and also the many individual women and girls who are keeping different cultural beads alive in their own ways.
Ma Mara Sakit Village initiated the Suk-Sukna Project in 2020. Suk-Sukna is an Arabic phrase that loosely translates to our beads. Ma Mara Sakit Village is a feminist movement that amplifies voices and creates platforms and opportunities to facilitate processes that contribute to the attainment of individual and collective agency using research, art, culture, and multimedia. Suk-Sukna is a bead-making project that aims to enhance the skills of women and girls in designing and recreating South Sudanese traditional beads to promote unique, beautiful, and creative South Sudanese and Pan-African cultures. To find someone who knows how to do the Dinka corset took nearly 2 months in 2020 when Ma Mara Sakit Village initiated this project, but our search finally led us to Mama Aluel, who agreed to train 4 women. While she conducted the training for 3 women and 1 girl aged 17, other women had an opportunity to work in the comfort of their homes and produce beads for sale in 2020 during the pandemic. This project later became one of the primary sources of income for Ma Mara Sakit Village. When the embassy expressed interest in continuing with the partnership in 2022, Ma Mara Sakit Village saw this as an opportunity to bring back to life the Suk-Sukna Project and go bigger and expound on training more women and girls on how to make the Lotuku and Dinka beaded corsets. The goal of this project was to contribute to the preservation of the dying knowledge and skills of corsets and beadwork, and create sustainable job opportunities by enhancing the skills of 8 women and girls in designing and recreating South Sudanese traditional beaded corsets to promote unique, beautiful, and creative South Sudanese and Pan-African cultures. Ma Mara Sakit kicked off this project in September 2022. 3 trainers were identified and contracted. 2 Dinka corset trainers, the women who learned how to make the corsets during the 2020 training, 1 Otuho corset trainer, and 1 supervisor to oversee the whole training process.
اسمها ماما أنجلينا مايكل. أنا أستاذة Suk-Sukna Dinka.
أنا مجال ميري نياري عطوا.
اسمي سيسيلي هويو. أنا بعد أعمل سوق من 2010. أنا يا قالي مويال.
أنا يجال ميري على Rono guad na nangruan tiar dia kero ana che poi je dia dwech ko ke ga diar ka a ke poi lo ma ko da chan goni jeng ko rir diar che poi a diar kero ke che poi ko jola nyantak ke lono guad man ke kinyej.
2 women and 4 girls were selected to take part in the training. In total, this project brought together 10 women and girls.
Patrick, أنا جنة المدرسة.
Okay, I'm Elizabeth Yarkush, third year student from Dr. General.
Isn't young Maria William? Yeah, I'm a student at Prestige High School.
The training lead, Mama Angelina, ensured all the needed materials were procured ahead of the training. This procurement process gave Ma Mara Sakit Village a glimpse of the challenges the bead makers experience in getting materials for their work, having to spend hours assessing the market before buying things. Sometimes, this means rotating the whole market or going to at least more than 2 shops to confirm pricing, new arrivals, and variety before settling on what to buy. Having to deal with the daily price changes, which largely affects their market and opportunities to sell the beads. Sometimes, certain beads colors run out of stock, making the prices even higher in the few shops that they can be found in. For 4 months, Mama Aluel provided her house to be used as a training venue and handed over the baton to the 2 women who learned how to make the Dinka corset to train this new cohort of women and girls with extensive supervision from her. The women met 3 times each week, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. During these 3 intensive training days, the trainers shared skills, supervised the progress made by the trainees, and answered any questions they might have for each other. The trainers also exchanged skills. The 2 Dinka corset trainers were taught how to make the Otuho corset, and the Otuho trainer was taught how to make the Dinka corset. The other 4 days, the women and girls worked from their homes, putting to practice the skills they were taught. In the course of the training, they produced 30 corsets, 15 Dinka corsets, and 15 Otuho corsets. All the women who participated in the training are the sole breadwinners of their families. Bead making is their main job and the only source of livelihood, alongside other things like subsistence farming that supplements the little income they get from making beads.
Kwan ke man ran bo pa dia ko bugon dia beting a ke gwet ke nongo ka ke gwet ke kian mit ke gan la mana bi get jamya eten kilo bi lwel kana ran kana ko koy luoy ko pot
Gurus degi sadana de jarta bet o dafa medar satayal o akal tabet o libe satayal naman hayata gi geru أنا قاموا لسوق ده يقولوا سوق سادة أنا سديد.
حتى في زمن إنها قاعدين في محل إرث. بعد ما أنا شديت حلة بتاعي ونزلته أنا قمت شلت طلعت السوق بتاعي وأنا شغال. في مرة قال لي يا أنجلينا الشغل بتاعك ده ما قاعد يجي فأنا قلت له يوم 30 بتاعي في يديني. يعني كان سوق بتاعي انتهى بالمرة يوم 30 بتاعي جا. وكان سوق بتاعي لسه ما خلصوا بالمرة خلاص يوم 30 بتاعي ما في الناس ضحكوا شديد. يعني عيالنا سنة ده قروا بطريقة يعني طريقة هم مرتاحين. جينا عندهم قروش وبمشي بيه مدرسة ما بمشي جعان، وكان طردوه على الليلة في مدرسة وسوق بتاعك في يدينا كده برجع للأستاذ تقول له لحد يوم كده أنا بجيب قروش.
فايدة يعني بيساعد شديد، زي مثلا انت كون انت سوق واحد تندو قروش سو قروش بيساعد انا في حاجات كتير انا درناها.
ميت كياني كي غارا بيات يمد بباك وبي بغار كي غاي ande dol ka man ande duet karo ona gade na ken ko te ma ger wo ko pa ka wan me chana ka pa den yo ki mi ki ka gar kwa ki wo ko pan chang ku ka chu yuri wo ken me da jer jer
la tieng to ko ne ga ron ba dor dar u de wal dio ka yu de la batin wara ga te ga suel gor
taban mina buyal de mutu ujena de arabia katolo kala la na yal sukeri ya wana garaba ma na garaba ba yal de sa do wana madrasa guma chowman de ya guri da.
Bead making is a tedious job that comes with many challenges.
Osuru talim de osuru kanta bada disa ge bada yade gwaja gisim ojifa yan zato.
شغل تا سوق وصعب قاعد يتعثر بعيون. يعني هسه لو انت قامت سوق تقدر ترتاح زي لو رفعت راسك انت ما بعين زول اللي قدامك كويس الا بعد شويه كده حتى العيون بتاعك بتكون كويس. نمرة 2 شغل سوق بشيل زمن بقوات برضه بتعاصر ببحر قوات كتير، لان انسان داير يتحرك تعمل حاجه انت قاعد تعمل دايتا واقف تعمل دايتا يعني، لكن شغل السوق داير انت تقعد في محل واحد انت تعاينه في محل ده بس تجروا عمل اكل ولا تجروا في محل تاني.
طبعا كان لسه ما بيو يعني معناتها بوجه لزول عشان داك ما لقوا حاجه لو بمشي معه في مدرسه.
انت لقيني زمن طويل ظهرتك بواجه عشان انت لسه معلم، انت لسه قاعد علمتها ظهرتك بواجه وصلبه بواجه.
The project has contributed to Ma Mara Sakit Village's financial self-sustainability beyond this funding cycle. The corsets produced through this project will be rented out for years at affordable rates for women and girls to use in events such as traditional weddings and ceremonies, amongst others.
When we started the training in 2020, it was just from a place of we just need these beads, more people making the beads, so they can be accessible.
The 10 women and girls have gained lifetime skills that they will use beyond Ma Mara Sakit Village and go a long way in preserving the dying Dinka and Lotuku beaded corset making. There is this notion that this younger generation of South Sudanese is not interested in their culture and get blamed for letting their culture die.
The day we show up at the wedding, at the venue, and people saw the outfits and people, there was just so much admiration. There was a lot of appreciation from the elders in the speech. Thank you for bringing back this. And I just sat there and I'm like, you made my life hell for even thinking this could be possible, And then when the things were, when, people shared pictures on social media, they just went, on viral on Facebook, on Twitter, and I saw so much admiration from young people on the concept and the idea, and we proved that it was possible. And I've seen like 4 weddings after our wedding, because we did our wedding in 2021, and I've seen so far 4 weddings that have been inspired by the corset, that have been done in the corset, and they, each one recreating the idea, and it just looks absolutely beautiful.
How can you preserve something you were never taught? Sometimes you don't have easy access or can hardly afford.
So I really think, it's not that we don't want our culture. It's not that we don't appreciate our cultural outfit, but I just think there's more that needs to be done on accessibility. There's more that needs to be done on affordability, and also publicizing the bead. So if I see someone wear it, I'm going to want it because I've seen it somewhere. It was difficult for us because no one had done it before. And so it was even impossible to imagine that you could wear it to a wedding and it would look beautiful. So I think for me it was a beautiful experience, and I'm glad my husband and I pushed through, and Aluel, my other cousin who worked on the outfits, I'm really also appreciated because she brought out the vision the way we were thinking it. It sounded very crazy to many people, but she was like, you know what, I think I get what you mean, I get what you want, and it came out beautiful. So for me, it was amazing.
A lot must be done to publicize and make these corsets accessible to younger South Sudanese, especially in urban areas and abroad, and digital media can be a great tool here. To commemorate South Sudan's 11th independence from Sudan and 10 years of internal instability, Gender Talk 211 focused the month on This Is Us, a visual and written digital curation that showcased 16 different South Sudanese cultural attires to remind us that there is beauty and strength in diversity. The curation aimed to initiate knowledge sharing and provide insights and understanding of what different attires symbolize for different communities. Additionally, the curation seeks to create conversations on how cultural dressings influence perception in the past and the present. This curation generated so much engagement on all our social media platforms. The content was shared widely by many young people who expressed deep appreciation for the curation. This shows that the young people are interested and care about upholding their culture.
When I young quite tired man, I can't loy. Quite you go, you are going to yet will Kali, when the car and on when I young quite a and a kong a luel manyo, go baraja kang bog leg, can move a yentia gonna love in the Alcagina nature and yen the Manyanga war. Kichigolo, Gunjang, a chamar, men badiri. A good year and a well one, a pure judge of Marian. But yan challenge yan, Manyang, a chilabay, could look one kind of when a young, work young back about go point, and a chilatin co point. A well manyoga, a chibella tin culatura, the tin, cule yen and culela well, a good kind of yellow yin in 4 yen. Wall a tin could jaldi 4 year. Culer tin beating the loy, could you'll tow your gunny young. Yen gonna man a young thing, a chipiat. One key and piat in a well could do again and be bear pin by Anya. The yan young a bun, a huge benefit da low yen gonna can. Who gonna? Kinder core, a kid and kinder. A kid champandu. Man, but kiss kero, our kiss get the abaka baby, who are you going can. Kalai in touch, I can move, but culture young there, but talk. I say, I kid dandu, dan baby, one I you watch it out. The king down here, a killer king and gun can. A good man could do upon one young cow I kill. When I you one bay man, but one barrage, when a little bit for Maliartan, Calabala Nuzutan, who wouldn't can a cake gola. And I a culture, love him book.
So when we started the training, in 2020, it was just from a place of we just need these beads, more people making the beads, so they can be accessible. But I really wasn't sure if people are interested. But then when we did the wedding and saw the admiration, the appreciation, and people asking where can we get the beads, I think for me that really confirmed that actually this is a project worth investing in. This is a project worth doing because I've seen that the issue is accessibility, the issue is affordability. And one of the reasons we focus this project on designing the beads specifically for renting is because not everyone can afford to buy it. There's a lot of work that goes into it. Like the women have said, I've seen them do the corsets and I'm like, wow, like this really takes time and a lot of effort, and the back and the hands and the eyes, is so much physical labor that goes into it that compromising on the price would be exploitation to me. And so what are some of the other ways we can explore? And we're like, maybe if people can rent, reduce the price, make it really affordable, and someone can just come and rent the corset, go use it and return it. It's not something, it's something that can be used over a long period of time. And so that really also inspired that, because from my experience, they were expensive to make. And we know South Sudanese wedding, the minimum you will have on your lineup is like 5 or 6, Some go to 8, some go to 10. And so I can't imagine thinking about making 9 or 10 corsets, you know, for a wedding. And so if we can give people the option of renting, then that, for those who feel like I don't need to own it, I can't afford it, or it's not necessary at this moment, you can just rent it. And I think a lot of the experience from the wedding also inspired some of the concepts and the decisions we took and the approach that we took with the training when we had the opportunity to be supported by the Canadian Embassy to do this work.
And I jam one a little who work panda nong team gajaret team a couple of loy ke ku gwet ke ayo ko la wai kwa ya ta la panda ten you nu butan atan bi ka jala wol bi jala gwet ki le bro loy bi kir ga de be ki le bro loy bi lo tin datu ku yego gwet la lum ke ga akuma datu ale bi ya jam wo o ga le bu kada bu gwe loy a chan bi diar ko bi ga nan ke yego yu ten kir ga ke dal ke ginu Sudan la dem bi loy kuna ke kilo yen kir ga ke ga le bi ga la tin akuma ku ye gwela lom yen ka waitin bi ga bo waji kina akuma reje ban nan kina akuma agutu Sudan ga dimwan nan dukan akuma kunong dukan to ja yen ken yen gurgu a chane non ko ko yu tin re ke gwet man koy ko ga ci chor ko ci pal ke yana non ke tin du ne yo tin bi ko nyira yene ti ya yo akuma la gimbu ko daya ujura kin ci jad ne al ti cho wo dukan la gor bu lel dukan bu gor bu gwet ko atawtin dukan a joli jad ne al kin ku dit ku kin bu lew mu ku gwet ko ci ko ay ten and jam yin akuma klerat yahu point yahu be ni alma room ya won real ko.
So we ended this project by hosting the Suk-Sukna Intergenerational Women's Cultural Showcase, an event that gave us an opportunity to exhibit the beads that the women had been working on for the previous month, and also photos from This Is Us Part 1 digital curation. This also gave the women, the trainers, both the trainers and the trainees, an opportunity to interact with over 100 people that attended the event, showcasing, you know, their beads and giving historical context and meanings behind different beads, designs, shapes, and colors. And in partnership with Ashes 64, you know, we were able to also show the different ways the corsets can be worn. Girls can wear them, children can wear them, you know, older women can wear them. This was a very special project for us, and we hope that, you know, we will continue to learn, we will continue to explore different cultural beads, contribute to making them accessible, and also contribute to making them accessible and affordable to South Sudanese, or just generally, you know, people that are interested in showcasing how some of these beautiful cultural beads.